Hello.
Hey, what's up, Britt?
What's going on? How's it going?
Life is life is lifing.
Life
Okay,
is lifing.
lifing. Say it could be worse, but barely.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Things.
how's your area with everything going on?
Uh, it's moving. It's
Yeah,
shaking. Yeah, not nothing too wild, but there's wildness everywhere. So yeah, you
sure.
know how that goes. Yeah, I know out there it's kind of frisky, ain't it?
Frisky.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I don't know. Things are pretty fine over here.
Yeah.
What were you up to this past weekend?
I don't think I did anything. Watch some TV. We watched some. What do we watch? Den of Thieves 2. And that's it. I think some. I'll probably watch Thor again. I watched Thor.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, just relax. Not too much.
Yeah.
Did some workouts, and that's about it.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah, normal weekend. What about over
Nothing.
there?
Yeah, not a lot going on. Did some cleaning, that
Yeah.
I put off for a few weeks. Well, everybody, welcome. Sip Chat Podcast. We're here.
Sip Chat Podcast. I'm
Thanks for
Sean,
joining on.
and this is Britt.
So, today we are talking about school, which is a
Oh
throwback
yeah,
here.
yes, yes. I've been. Well, I have been in school a few years ago, but that was just all hard work. When we talking about school,
Yeah,
I'm thinking
right.
about way
All
back in
of
the
that,
day, right?
that K through 12,
Right?
crazy.
Yeah, right. Where you couldn't use Chat GPT to spit
Yeah.
out paper,
I mean, when
right?
when you hear just like the concept of school, mention school about your schooling, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Um, having a great time
Okay.
in school, learning, laughing,
hmm
meeting a lot of people. That's what I kind of think about school, playing sports. I think of school just having fun and learning.
Yeah.
That's what I think about school.
Learning is not usually on
Yep,
people's lists
yep,
of
yep.
things that they think about when it comes to school.
Right? Yeah. Seriously, right? Yeah. What about you? Did you like school? Was school like, or was you like, oh man, I love school. I can't
I
wait to
don't
go to
think I
school.
really ever had the I can't wait to go to school aspect. Um,
Yeah.
since the beginning
Okay.
of time, I hated going to school.
Okay. All
But
right.
when we talk about, like, when someone mentions, like, the topic's going to be school, right? My initial thought that comes to
Yeah.
mind really is kind of like what you shared, like the connection, the making friends. Um, for me, it was
Yeah.
really that I went to school, same grade, same classrooms, most of elementary school with my cousin Samantha, right? And so that was like my person, my
Yeah.
best friend. Like no matter what we did it together, kind of thing. So that's my
Yeah.
initial
Of course.
memory for sure of school. That's my initial thought.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all right. Did you have any? I know that's been a long time ago, but can you remember any favorite teachers from that K through
K through
6 or
eight.
K through
Yeah, I mean,
eight?
I remember all of my elementary school
Yeah.
teachers for sure. list them all.
Okay. Okay.
But I think I don't know. I have two that stick out, right? I think my number one like funnest teacher was definitely like first grade.
Yeah.
She was really fun. I think that's
Okay.
the teacher that I was like, I definitely, even though I didn't want to go to school, if I was going to her class, it was going to be okay, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one definitely the most
Okay.
fun, but I think most memorable though is definitely
Yeah.
second grade, because the person that like I grew up with as like an additional grandparent at like church, my mom's like closest friends, like
Mm-hmm.
she was also my second grade teacher. And
Mm-hmm.
so being able to have
Yeah.
that, I definitely felt like the cool kid sometimes because not only did we all
Yeah.
love my second grade teacher, but I also got to go to my second grade teacher's house and play video games on the weekends and like hang out
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had this like
Okay.
different
Okay.
relationship than everybody else, all of my peers with my second grade teacher.
Okay.
I just got $100 check in the
Yeah.
mail for my birthday
Okay.
from
So
my
that's
second grade teacher 3 months ago. So
right.
yeah,
See that
so it's
long
it's
lasting
different.
relationship, right? Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. So from K through 8 was, okay, we got that. So
Mhm.
those two, first grade and second grade. Okay. Now what about ninth through
Are we
just
talking
ninth through
teachers or
12th?
just like experience?
We're talking
Teachers.
teachers now, not
9 through
experiences, just teach.
12. They are less memorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can remember
Okay.
the
Okay. Okay.
teachers
Good.
per se. I think probably my one of my science teachers who like I think I had biology, I think I had anatomy with them as well, same teacher. She definitely
Okay.
was one of the teachers that made you feel like they cared about what happened to you. Right? Not all high school teachers, I feel like, are like that. A lot
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
are just like, okay, on to the next class kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what makes them less memorable.
Yeah.
I really can't think of a lot of those teachers' names at all, even though they were much more recent than my second grade teacher, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They were much more
Yeah.
recent, but also you had more, right? So yeah, yeah, we had one
Yeah.
teacher when we were like way way younger, right? So and then what? I think we had
Yeah. Six,
six,
seven.
or yeah, I
Yeah.
think six. Now there's kids at
Yeah.
8, right? 8 classes, and I'm like, what's going on? How are you guys learning all of that?
Right. Yeah. So
Learning all of
definitely
that
that science
stuff,
teacher, though, I think that she made
right?
it that, like, if you did have something going on, you can come and talk to them. And I think that's really important,
Okay.
especially in those teen years, right? I think that we feel
Hmm.
a lot of times we're feeling
Hmm.
really
Yeah.
disconnected from our parents, right? And so having an adult person that is we can
Yeah.
trust and like turn to, I think is so important.
Yeah.
Um, and I think if it wasn't any of the teachers, the ones that I do remember the most and know their names and like recall what they look like are all of my coaches, right? Those are the ones
Yeah.
I think I spent most of my time
Okay.
with, right?
Okay. Got Yeah. I got it. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely understandable. So what about after college, right? So,
Hmm.
associates through masters, right?
Most of my time was spent on
Yeah.
air doing broadcasts, right? Or
Okay.
reporting behind the camera
Yeah.
and like going to events and stuff and reporting on them. And so, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I have no complaints in that space. Masters,
Okay.
however, I do have a professor that like really drove me insane and was like the least helpful
Yeah.
person, and was not considerate of people's, I don't know, time. And because masters are
Hmm.
different, right? Masters, you're going in, like, of course, we're students, but like, most people are going into a master's, like, also working and they know this, right? And
Yeah.
so, to us, yes, I'm there to get my master's and I want to put in all the hard work, but expecting 12 hours of work a week on things just doesn't seem
Yeah.
realistic. So there's
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things like that that I have some gripes about my
yeah.
master's, but overall, I think it was fine too. You deal with it,
Mm,
you know.
pretty good.
But
Okay.
your experience is very
Okay.
different, right? Because
All right.
you weren't on a physical campus majority of the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. True. 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 Yeah. So it was kind of like some of the instructors were really good. So I know when I was at UCR for a bit, and it was good, right? I did UCR, but I did UCR in high school, right? So that was like we had to be there. The instructors there, everybody was there, everything was good, but it was more like just getting the experience, right? Being in that brick and mortar building, right, with all your compadres, right? During the summer, it was great. But then when it became like, okay, now you're in the military, now you have to actually work and now actually go to school, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
you had to really focus. I think you had to really focus, and I think ask a
Yeah.
lot of questions if you didn't know. I love asking questions. All in all, it went pretty smooth, right? Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I made it, so that's pretty good. I know for associates it was good, bachelor's pretty good, masters it was. Had this one statistic teacher. It's the worst of the worst, and I'm like, it was so hard. And then I said, okay, I actually had to call the school and get a different instructor because it just no helping anyone like no. And I know because we were emailing, some of the students were emailing like, hey, I don't have no clue what's going on, the instructor didn't tell me anything,
Yeah.
she's not helping me with anything, so I had to get someone else. And then this teacher was in Australia. This instructor was in Australia, and very, very smooth, very, very helpful. She helped everyone, and I was so happy. I was like, thank the Lord that finally now I can stop blowing money on this freaking
Mm-hmm.
class, right? Oh. But everything else was pretty good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I love learning, so that's the thing. But you have to be. I think you have to be really, really focused, really, really focused when especially if you're doing like
Mm-hmm.
most of your classes online, and then you work too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very focused. Right? You got to have that time to say, all right, I'm not gonna watch TV for this amount of
Mm-hmm.
time because I
Mm-hmm.
have to ensure that this work
Yeah.
gets done and gets turned
Do
in.
you
So
have a
yeah.
memorable, that's your instructor that's from college that's memorable, but from K through 12, do you have someone that is memorable for you?
Yes, I think I had a couple teachers in K through I think six. That was I'll have to get the pictures so I can
Uh-huh.
kind of remember remember who was in the class to ensure like, oh yeah, I remember doing this, I remember doing this. So there are some teachers that I do
Mm-hmm.
remember. Again, that was a long time ago. There was a lot of great teachers, but Miss Clifton, Miss Thigpen,
Eggspan?
and there was one other Miss Thigpen. Yep, Miss Thigpen. She was super, super nice. And then there was a one older teacher. She was a English teacher, and she would always like read to us, like read books. And she was like a thespian when she would like read. And she
Yeah.
can read so well. And then she, all right, and we just kind of like went down the roads, like reading these, all the other Moby Dicks and Othello and all those books everybody had to read. But she was a really good teacher. Miss Clifton was a really good teacher. Miss Clifton didn't take no crap. Miss Thigpen, really good teacher. She didn't take no. I've got B's in her class, and she said, "I'm calling your mother. You need to get it." Miss Thigpen did not take no kind of malarkey. So those are my three favorite, most
Yeah,
memorable teachers.
that's cool.
9th through
I
12th.
like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
know, this is our fun fact for the day here,
Did you know?
that
The more you know. Right?
there's still a functioning school that was founded in 1635 in Boston. Has like, yeah, alumni
Really?
is like John
Really?
Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Samuel Adams,
Oh
right?
wow.
Crazy things. That is, it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
crazy. I
is
can't
that's
imagine.
pretty good.
Has it been upgraded? Does it still look like it's 1635?
Man, I know, right?
Right?
Is there AC or is there heat? That's what I would need.
Yeah. What do you
That's what
think
I would need.
about schools having a school uniform or not a school uniform?
Um I think that
Hmm.
I kind of think two things about that. I think having school uniforms is a good thing. And I think it's a good thing because that ensures that the children have something to wear. Nobody is, talking about the children because they have dirty clothes or they don't have the newest clothes or they don't have this. Do I think, I don't want to say bad, but I think it could have some negative factors too. Just people, I guess, wanting to be themselves, right? Wanting to have their own little swag, right? And sometimes, you may just want to wear sweats and a t-shirt and flip-flops,
Hmm.
right? And a hat to school, right? And I think sometimes like when you're wearing a uniform, sometimes it can be like, hey, I want to wear a beanie because it's cold. No, you can't wear a beanie. So I think there's, both good
Yeah,
pros and cons
definitely. Yeah.
to having
I
uniform.
think I'm on the same
Yeah, I think
page, right?
it's
I see the downfall of like,
yeah,
I think the biggest downfall is the first one you listed, right? Of people wanting to be able to express themselves through whatever fashion, shoes,
yeah,
whatever. I think I get that.
hmm
But yeah, I mean, wanting to
yeah,
wear sweats, a hat, like, I think all of those things are like they're important for us to be able to have autonomy to choose
yeah,
things. But at the same time, I think the uniform also kind of challenges us to one look
hmm
and present ourselves in a specific way, um
hmm
to that, like, that teaching of just like sometimes we don't get to do the things that we want to do, and how are we going to react to that? How are we still going to
yeah,
exist as a person?
yeah,
um kind of having that discipline,
yeah,
I guess. But at the same time, I also get just like,
hmm
school doesn't have to be a formal place. It could just be a place where you wear sweats and it's okay, you know? I'm not sure fully on
yeah.
that, but I do think that uniforms make it easier. There's no big meltdown of what to wear in the mornings.
Exactly right. If somebody's tripping over, what, mom, I'm late because I don't have anything to wear. That's
Yeah.
a discipline thing, right? You should have ironed your
um,
clothing.
yeah, definitely. Did you ever have a uniform?
No, I did not in school.
Yeah.
No, in the military,
Yeah.
yes, right. Of course, of course,
Right.
it's certain standards that right, you have to
Yeah.
be clean
Hmm.
shaven, right? Everything has to look good, free from rips and tears, right?
Yeah.
Same boots,
Yeah.
right?
We
So,
did have uniforms all through
yeah.
elementary school, um, for my school. So,
Mhm.
I have seen both.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's sometimes because you won't learn better depending on the clothes you have, right? It doesn't make you absorb the information better. However, when people may not have clean clothes and a different variety of clothes, now it may that may kind of distract. Some people may talk about them, laugh about them, and then that's going to distract that person
mhm,
or those people from learning because now there's a whole ruckus about, hey, little Johnny has the same clothes on he wore on Monday, Tuesday, and
mhm.
Wednesday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Clothes do not make us think better or be smarter, right? But when we go into something knowing that it could cause
yeah,
something, we're thinking about that. We're nervous, we're stressed, right? And we're like, what are people going to say today,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
So that makes perfect sense.
exactly. Yep.
Did your
Yeah.
high school, which I assume that it did, have pranks?
Yes. Yes. There were some pranks that happened throughout the school. I
Hmm.
don't remember too many of them, but I do remember some that happened. Like oh man, somebody. I'm not gonna say who. It was somebody on the basketball team. Right. We had a coach, but one I think for Halloween somebody some people went to his house and toilet papered his
Hmm.
trees, toilet papered his house, toilet papered his grass, did all kinds of stuff. Um, and I think probably egged his driveway. I think, and I'm thinking, why would Food for Less let 15, 16 year olds come in there and just buy cartons of eggs, right? I don't know why, but hey, whatever. And we got back. I mean, we came to school, the next day, and
Hmm.
he came straight for us. Straight. I know it was you. I know it was you. He had us running doing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, Coach, I don't know what you're talking about. Why am I in trouble? I didn't do anything. I know it was you. So, usually like little things like that. And a lot of times, like people like ding dong
Hmm.
ditched on people on teachers' doors, right when the doors were closed. Kind of like
Sure.
funny things like that. But I don't think anything like huge. Like we didn't like you see on TV and on these shows. You see where people like steal their
Yeah.
mascot or have goats and monkeys. Horses. Nothing wild. No, not even. I don't understand how these things happen.
Yeah.
But no, it was never anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nothing like that.
Yeah. I
How
mean,
about over there with you?
I either option A, I was just not a part of them, and I didn't know that they were going on. But most
Yeah,
most
yeah,
like most likely
yeah.
option is like I don't see that as a current thing. Still, I do feel like early 2000s was like the ending of those school pranks era, because I feel
Okay,
like things have
okay.
definitely had a major shift in accountability. I think
Mm-hmm.
that like it's things have become less fun and
Mm-hmm.
games and more like I'm going to get you arrested kind of thing. So things are very
Yes,
different.
yes.
Um, and so I do think that
Mm-hmm.
your era of high school was the ending time of big major pranks. I mean,
Yeah,
I hear things, right?
yeah,
Like
probably
that
that.
for
Yeah,
me
yeah.
and my experience,
But
not too many pranks. Never anything
yeah,
TP related or egging related to staff.
yeah,
Definitely saw that towards
yeah,
other students, right? Things. My one of my friends in
yeah,
high school and I had this like rolling. Um, I guess it was kind of a prank, but we would literally like grab up
Mhm.
like construction signs that we found on the side of the road, just like hanging up
Mhm.
like cones, the ones that light up, and we
Yeah.
would take them and put them
Yeah.
in like around their car at their house or like on their front lawn, and like what either
Oh,
one of us would wake up in the morning
yeah.
and come out to like 100 cones on our front yard. Things like
Yeah. Yeah.
that. So very
Yeah.
minor prank like
Okay.
that,
Okay.
but
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. 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 That's not nothing. Yeah. That's not anything crazy. I know. Um. I think like toilet
Hmm.
paper in
Hmm.
people's house was a thing. And it's never like nothing's happened. Nothing happened to our house except one time after this was. I think this was like after
Yeah.
prom weekend or something like that. Um, I come out. I kind of think I came outside or something, and it was like riding on the driveway. It was like riding on the driveway, and I think something like stuck on the garage, and it said like oh prom king or something like that. It was like, hey, Keyshawn's the prom king or happy
Yeah.
prom, something weird like that. Near my, friends and stuff like that. So, but I think that was it. Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing crazy. So, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, nothing crazy.
one
Yep.
big thing, of course, I don't think we can talk about schools today without mentioning the
Uh,
tragedy, right, of school shootings, right? I think that that
mhm.
is a very big thing. Of course, that is
Yeah.
so different. More recent years, like of course things were happening,
Hmm.
right? We had Columbine in like 99 or something. We had Sandy Hook in
Yeah.
2012, right? We've
Something
had
like that.
things
Yeah.
that were happening
Mhm.
in that era, right? But it is just a very different experience today. So I think the
Yeah.
concept of stress and worry and trauma and fear was not as relevant for us when we
Mhm.
were in school.
Absolutely not, because we can ride our bikes miles down the street, right? And then just come back home, before
Mm-hmm.
the street lights come back on, right? So you're out here, you're doing here, you're down here, you're doing this. Then when I got to school, nothing. It was nothing really like, hey, we're scared of
Yeah, we
this.
had
Make sure
earthquake
we
drills,
have
right?
this,
That's about
this.
it. Mm-hmm.
We had earthquake drills and fire drills. That was it. There was no other kind of drills possible, right? And then all of a sudden, it just starts getting very, very hectic, very, very scary. A lot of school shootings, bomb threats, all kinds of stuff. And it's just very unfortunate, very, very sad too. A lot of people, a lot of people passed away. A lot of people got murdered. Really, that's what it was. Um, it it's very, very unfortunate, but yeah, that's the difference. That's like the long jump from like kind of when we went to school and then
Mm-hmm.
like now. Yeah, it's you hear things about people saying, let's give students weapons, right? And it's like, wow, that's a huge jump from like, hey, everybody, quiet, come out the
Yeah,
classroom, go
that's
to the
very
back of the
different. Yeah.
field, right?
I have memories of
Very, very,
elementary
very
school and
different.
middle school doing like bomb threat drills, right? Especially after 9/11, right? There was things like
Hmm.
that that started happening, but again, still that seemed like such like a
Yeah.
far away concept that like nothing, it wasn't ever in my mind of like, yeah, this could
Hmm.
probably happen. Right. Same thing with earthquake and fire drills, right? There was never a
Yes.
thought in my mind that I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to use this, right? Whereas like current active shooter
Yeah.
drills, like those feel, I think, more real. Talk about stress and worry and impacting learning, right? That's a big one for sure.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Now I remember when I was going to school, I don't remember us. I remember us having maybe like a student, maybe a student counselor, but I don't remember like actually having like a real counselor to speak to students in school. I don't. We probably did. I remember us being a nurse, and when I
Yeah.
wanted to get out of class, sometime and walk the halls, and my stomach hurt. Let me go holler at the nurse real quick. But I didn't
Yeah,
know. I don't think we had
absolutely.
a
So
counselor.
a lot
Yeah.
of course, progress to be made in that space. Absolutely.
Yeah. True. So, what's your favorite part about school? Let's just stick to ninth to 12th. All right, yeah, let's just
If
stick to
we're
ninth,
talking
ninth to
about
12th.
high
The
school,
good
by
core.
far my favorite part is always going to be sports,
Yeah.
right? It's always going to be
Oh,
being
okay. Yeah.
able to win things, be good at something, accomplish
Yeah.
those goals, right? I think that
Yeah.
that was like really the formative part of
Yeah.
school for me. Um, so that's definitely
Hmm.
the favorite parts, always.
Okay.
What about you?
I really enjoyed like also like lunchtime, like walking the halls. I like talking to people, right? If I just see people, right? Just like students I didn't know. Hey, what's up? What's going on? And then I would kind of like chit chat, and then like the next
Yeah.
time I would see him, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? What's up, Mark? What's up? Lauren, right? And people are like, yo, I'm telling you, like Kelly Esteban are like, how do you know this person? I've never seen this person in my life. Do they go to the school? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
they've been at the school as long as us, right? It's just like it just so happens they probably are chilling in the back or by the other little gate in the back.
Mhm.
Sometimes I go back there. I may have a class back there. I may just be walking
Yeah.
around back there and then, hey, what's up? What's going on? And I don't know. I think that's what I really like. Sports,
Yeah.
learning, and
What would you
just
say would
talking.
be the biggest
Yeah.
challenge that you endured in high school?
Um, by far, 100%, no doubt in my mind. I don't have to think about it. Okay, I don't have to think about it. Is being able to listen or understand what is being said when
Okay.
people are talking in a class. You know, sometimes you have like those breakout times, those breakout classes, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, you get in this, we have a couple groups, and then you have to like work. When it came to writing something down
Hmm.
and people talking, I physically can't do it because you'll start saying something,
I
and
see.
then
I
I'll
see.
start
Okay.
writing what I'm hearing, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So there was plenty of classes where I asked the teachers, hey, can I sit outside?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just move the desk outside. Um, there's a couple times in the class I kind of like scream like, "Hey, yo, y'all gotta shut up! I'm trying to write, right?"
Hmm.
Because I just couldn't do it, and that was something that I really had a hard time doing. So that's why when I see people wearing headphones and doing homework and reading, I say, "Their your brain is special." But yeah, that was my thing right there. I just couldn't do it. I wish we had computers and laptops when I was in, school. I would have definitely hopped
Hmm.
on that bandwagon. Did you miss a lot of school?
No, I definitely, of course, never missed a lot of school because I have a teacher mom, right,
Yeah,
who knows that the district
yeah,
loses money if a student is not there, right? And so I was definitely
yeah.
showing up. If I was sick, of course, she wasn't
Hmm.
the one that was like, you need to go anyway. But there wasn't just like
Yeah,
willy
yeah,
nilly missing school, right? I think a big difference too is that like
yeah,
a lot of families miss have their children miss school because they go on a trip or they go somewhere that they aren't
Yeah.
able to do regularly, right? And they take the kid with them, right? Whereas like my mom was also a teacher, so we had spring breaks together, we had summers together. Like that's when we did our trips when she was
Yeah.
also off anyway. So it kind of just I
Yeah.
didn't
Exactly.
miss much school at all, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. High
Yeah.
school was a weird
Oh, okay.
time, you know.
All right.
A weird
Yeah.
time. I think
Yeah.
that was I can
Yeah.
say that that is probably my biggest challenge in school and high school. It's just that like I
Hmm.
don't think I really ever had a sense of belonging when it came to high school. It was just like
Hmm.
I'm here and like I have all these people around me that are like I don't know, that don't
Yeah.
really get me, that don't really care to get me, that like, I don't know,
Yeah.
just like where do I belong in this kind of space here? So I think that
Yeah.
definitely I already did not like going to school and then getting into high school just like made that even weirder because of that I don't know, that really weird
Yeah.
sense of just like who am I in this world was very strong in that point in
Hmm.
time. So I think that
Okay.
that just kind of perpetuated of like I really don't want to be here.
Yeah. Kind of like blah. I'm
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
going through life,
So,
huh? Mm. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey,
yeah,
thank the
absolutely.
Lord for sports,
Yeah,
right? It
I'd have a
got you
big empty
through,
shelf in my room if I'd yeah.
right? Right. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the last question for us here is like what do we think the perfect school would look like?
The perfect school, man. That's kind of. I I think, man. I don't know, and I don't know because there would be so many students that like
Yeah. I
different
mean, I think
things.
that's a big
That's the
part of
thing,
it, right? Is being
right?
able to have access
Yeah.
to the way that they
Yeah.
learn and like need. I think that's such a big part of it.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah, because some we all learn different ways. We all enjoy different subjects.
Hmm.
We're
Hmm.
all, I guess, better at different subjects, or feel we're
Hmm.
better, or study harder for different subjects, and that's why we say, "Oh, I'm better at this," right? Um, I think those what are those schools called? I don't think they're called magnet schools. I think they're called something else, but
Yeah. I think
it's
Magnet
like
still exists. Magnet
these
STEM Charter.
this group of, yeah, but this is a certain kind of school. I think it's like, say for example, somebody wants to be a carpenter, and this school is like carpenter, engineer, and gardener, right? Let's just say, I just saying that because I'm looking outside, right? So just these three things. So all of these three, jobs or things, everything in that school is about those three jobs. And everybody that's going to that school already said, this is what I want to do when I, grow up. This is what my dad does. This is what my mom does. And I just want to keep I guess, grow the family business or whatever. And it's just these three. I mean, not just only these three, but what encompasses these three jobs. Everything is at that school. So there's no like, you may not have to take
Yeah.
statistics, right? Right. You have to take some math, right? But for carpentry work, you have to know math, right? So it's just those certain things. They probably don't have like a history class or something there. I think that would be nice for a certain group of people. But I think to make the perfect school for me will be
Hmm.
teachers that care, teachers that care about every one of their students, and know how to teach when all the different, you know, types of,
Yeah.
giving information to students, and some and teachers that understand that my class is not the only class, so I'm not going to give my students
Yeah.
7 hours of homework, right? Um, and then just like something clean, maybe like a 4 day um 4 day uniform. One day, like Friday, just wear what you want to wear, right? I
Mhm.
think that might be cool. Or like 3 day uniform,
Yeah.
two day what you want to wear, right? Something that'll kind of like
Sure.
hit everybody, right?
Hmm.
Hit everybody, and I think that would be pretty good. Free lunches for everybody,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Food, things like that. And everybody respecting one another. I think,
Yeah,
man, I think that would be
absolutely. I mean,
awesome.
that would definitely be my number one, right? Is just that like the dream school would just be like you walk in and like everybody's mind is shifted into that respect. There's like something magic in the door that like suddenly they're so
Yeah.
respectful of every person with, right? I think that's so huge, right? I
Yeah.
wish that we were at that level in society, right, where we can just exist as people and not worry about what other people are thinking
Hmm.
about us. Because as much as like we can be people that
Yeah.
don't care about the opinions, that's different than other people just not
Hmm.
having a negative opinion about other people, right? It's different. Like I want that shift where
Yeah.
like we don't have to
Hmm.
have a negative view about somebody. We can just let them exist and it's going to be okay, right? Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think the school
Yeah.
that I did like the school that I was a school counselor at, right? They had that free dress Friday. They had uniforms the rest of the week. Free dress Friday. You got to wear
Oh,
whatever you
really?
wanted. So it was
Oh,
really
I didn't know that
cool
was a thing.
to kind
Nice.
of see their little personal
Okay.
styles come out on Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And
That's
so I
pretty
think
dope.
in my perfect
Okay.
school, right, we'd also have that varying teaching style, right? That like we test students, right? And we say this is the way that kind of works for them to learn. So we're going to put them with this group of people that also learn in that
Yeah.
same way and kind of give instructions in that form.
Yeah.
So that they're able to kind of really get the same
Hmm.
education as somebody who learns in a traditional way. Because right now they're really at a disadvantage
Yeah.
because the teacher has to adjust everything, but they're not adjusting everything, right? And then just like the options
Exactly.
and access to not just like basic technology, but like current technology, right? We're in the real world, we have AI, we have VR, right? So, like, using those in our classrooms, I think is so
Yeah.
formative for our students, right? Because they're just going to go out into the world and have access to it anyway. So, why not use it in schools, right?
I think that would be really,
Mm-hmm.
really, really good, because it's kind of like, um you can say, hey, I am a data scientist and I just got my degree last year and or this year, and then you try to go for a data scientist job and they're like, you need 8 years experience, and it's like, wait a minute, wait, hold on, listen, I'll
Right.
never get the experience if you don't hire me, right? So when it comes to like schooling, if
Mm-hmm.
it's things that they already know how to do, listen, and then how different people think as well, right? Me and you don't think the same. That means those other, 15, 16
Mm-hmm.
people in your class, they think different too. And, you know, melt those minds together. Somebody can come up with the cure to something, or how to do this, or
Absolutely.
how to make this better, how to make that better. And I think it'll just
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
way smarter.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
100%.
also pay teachers more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're with your
Yeah.
bad kids way more than you are.
Pay
Okay.
teachers more, pay teachers aides, teachers, right? I mean, right now we're in such a place where teachers
Yeah.
have 35 students per classroom, right? That's not helping anybody, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard out there. Um, yeah, so I think
Yeah.
something we
Yeah.
will look at this week, maybe you could maybe find that old classroom photo of yours. I'll look for my old classroom photo
Yeah.
where we'll do a little share this week of some of our
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah. Definitely have to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Actually, I
yeah. Oh
guess I
yeah.
know
That'd
I
be
said that
fun.
was the last question, but one more
Uh,
question for you. Are you still
yeah.
friends with people that you've known from elementary school?
Um. Yes, from elementary school. Yes, I would say really good friends with three with two really good friends with two people. I know one, and we chat when we can talk. Right, we already know Kels. Right, I know
I
Kel. I
thought Kelly was
think,
middle
man,
school,
when
but
did
I
I
didn't
know
realize it was
Kelly?
maybe elementary school too.
Probably. Oh no, 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 no. Kelly was. I want to say probably fifth, sixth grade, seventh grade, somewhere around there. That's when me and
Hmm.
Kelly that's when me and Kelly met. And of course, it was we were about to, fight over something stupid. It was over something just dumb, and we were just laughing about it the other day. Yeah, but Kelly, I've
Hmm.
known Kelly since like fifth grade. I was fifth or sixth grade, and then my I think my longest time friend is Aberdeen, and I've known her since I
Hmm.
think
That's long time.
kindergarten or first grade. Yep, yeah, I've known her for so long. And me and her, we still talk. She called me and argue about something. You know how that goes. And then my friend Edgar, I remember me and him used to ride the bus together around
Yeah,
second,
that's a good
third
amount of
grade, something
people.
like that. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So three
Yeah,
people from way back in the day. All right.
of
Yep. What
course. I
about you? I
can't get
know
rid of
Sam,
her.
of course.
um,
Shout out Sam. What up, Sam?
but yeah, I mean, I definitely have a good amount of people, probably like four, four or five as well, that I'm still good
Okay.
friends with, that I've known since elementary school.
Yeah.
But I do interact less like friendship and more like less personal friends and more just like
Yeah.
acquaintances and like still aware of like on Instagram and stuff people that I've known
Yeah.
since elementary school, kindergarten,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But good friends definitely
Yeah.
um probably like yeah, four or five. My very first best friend from preschool
Yeah.
even is still one of my close friends, Melissa.
Hmm.
So definitely
Okay.
still a few there for sure. I love those. I love those friendships, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we've grown and changed and
Yeah.
become. Of course, you're friends with everybody when you're in
Hmm.
kindergarten, right? And so, whereas in high school, when you're
Of course.
making friends, like you're making more friendships based on personality, things that you like about the other person. Kindergarten is like you sat
Hmm.
next to each other, and so you're friends, right? And
Exactly.
so it's very different. And so it's really cool to see,
Exactly.
yeah, it's really cool to
Yeah. You
see
got
those
different interests.
kindergarten friendships last decades, right? And into the people,
No. I,
choose to still love the people that we were friends with in kindergarten, despite who we become as adults.
mhm.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yep. You may be different. I know we all change, and
Yeah.
you may not agree with everything. And so what? You don't. Just because you like the color green,
Hmm.
and I like the color orange, right? So what? You can. We're still friends. We still talk about a whole lot of things that kind of have us grow. We don't agree on everything,
Yeah.
and that's what I think that's good too, right? Me and Kelly, me and Aberdeen, we don't agree on a lot of stuff. We talk, we argue all the
Hmm.
time, right? We have conversations all the time, but in the big scheme of things, they're still
Yeah.
my homies,
Absolutely.
right? They're still gonna be right there. Yeah, us from
Yeah,
elementary school.
that is
Sheesh.
huge. I love it. All right.
Right.
Well, that's fun. That's a good topic. Let's
Yes,
let's see. Next week,
absolutely.
this is a this is a
What we
funny one.
got?
Next week we are talking cruise ships. Mhm. Yeah.
Cruise ships. Oh wow. Okay.
So, all right, Shawnee. Well, it was a pleasure. Thanks everybody for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And
We really
have a great
appreciate it.
week. And I'll talk to you soon
Yes.
next
Yes,
week.
we'll see you back here next week.
Bye. Love you.
All right. Bye, Brett. Love you.